Okay, everyone, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, Assalamu alaikum, and I would like to welcome you all to this session. And let me give you, first of all, my introduction. This is me, Muhammad JUNAID KHALID, in front of you, the course facilitator for F7 Financial Reporting Paper. Okay, so in this session, what we are going to learn, what we are going to discuss, let me give you the central idea for this one. First of all, this session is specifically for those who are going to appear for September 2026. Yes, definitely you all are planning for the upcoming attempt, that is September 2026. So let's target the September 2026, and in this particular session specifically I will give you the guidelines that how you can score good marks and how you can ace this paper with good marks in September 2026. And please make sure that I'm going to give you the strategies, I'm going to give you the guidelines in line with the related timeline which is available right now. Because today we are, as of, if we talk about, so we are at 16th of June, that is the mid of June, and obviously the paper will start in the first week of September. So as far as the time period is concerned, the time period and the days which are left right now for September 2026 exams. So how you should prepare, what content you need to look after. So we are going to discuss each and everything in this particular session, that is financial reporting. That is for the financial reporting paper. Now let's begin with the session. And if we just talk about that, what is financial reporting paper? Let me tell you the difficulty level, the relevance level, that how difficult the financial reporting paper is, that are we able to cope up with this one, is it a doable, what is the passing ratio, and how we are going to ace this exam. So let's discuss it first, and then I will give you some strategies as well. First of all, remember the financial reporting paper that you're going to appear in September 2026 is, there is one basic, and the foundation and the basic paper of this financial reporting paper is financial accounting, that is F3. And everyone in this session, you must have gone through this paper. You must have passed this exam before the financial reporting paper. Now, many of the students are concerned. Many of the students having their perception, they have myth that, so what will happen? There are two situations. What will happen? Whether if we are good in financial accounting, and the other side of the story is that if we are bad in financial accounting. Yes, there might be two possible situations, that you might be extraordinarily strong in a financial accounting paper, and there is a possibility that you might have scored very good marks in your financial accounting paper. But there could be other side of the story is that there is a possibility that you are quite weak in this particular paper and you are not able to score good marks in this particular exam. So here's the point, here's the answer for both the I would say both the audience. Number one, if you're good in financial accounting and if you're worse in financial accounting, so the point is that only 25% area is relevant for the financial reporting paper. Now listen to me very carefully. There is a misconception. There is a misconception, and what is that misconception? That the people says that many of the instructor as well, that financial accounting and financial reporting paper both are integrated and both are connected and both are relevant to each other. But my point is, it's not the case. Financial accounting is completely different from the financial reporting paper. Mark my words. Yes, it's not the same. It's not the same, ladies and gentlemen. Financial accounting and financial reporting paper both are different. How they're different? Let me tell you. Let me tell you how they're different. So, financial accounting paper is entirely connected with the accounting procedures. Let me give an example for this one. Accounting procedure. Let me give you an example for this one. If you remember, in a financial accounting paper, you are supposed to prepare the income statement. That is a profit and loss account. Let me show you the draft income statement. Like, you started with the net sales revenue, then you continued with the cost of goods sold, then the gross profit was calculated. Afterward, the operating expenses were calculated, and then you added some other income to arrive at the profit before interest and tax. Then you deducted the interest expense interest expense, which is also known as the finance cost, and then you arrive at the profit before tax. Afterwards, you deducted the income tax expense, and finally, you arrived at the net profit. Now, that was the draft profit and loss account. And if you remember the financial accounting paper, once you were preparing for the financial accounting paper, the entire values, the data, the trial balance, each and everything was given over there. You just need to put the values, and if there are some smaller adjustments, you need to account it for, and then you need to put those values to the income statement, to the profit and loss account. It was quite simple. For example, if there was a sales of, let's say, 500,000, an examiner might have given you the adjustment that out of this 500,000, 100,000 was overstated or 50,000 was understated. So you just made a little adjustment, and then you arrived at the final value and you inserted that value to the final profit and loss account. So that was all about the financial accounting. Yes, the financial accounting was mainly concerned with the accounting process, that you are focusing on the accounting process, like preparation of the cash book, preparation of the bank reconciliation statement, the control account, the correction of errors, incomplete records, accruals and prepayments. So these were all the accounting processes. But now, if you're talking about the financial reporting paper, now listen to me very carefully. If you're talking about the financial reporting paper, so it's not about the clerical work. Yes, I would say that financial accounting is all about the clerical work. That is, you are given with the values, you just need to put the values by making a little adjustment, and then the profit and loss account will be prepared. But if you talk about the financial reporting paper, it's not the case. In a financial reporting paper, there are laws, there are rules, there are regulations that you need to follow, and based on those laws, rules and regulations, you need to upgrade, you need to tell your clerk, you need to tell your assistant that how and when and with what amount. Yes, three questions: how, when, and with what amount the particular value should be recorded, the particular line item should be recorded. And the rules and regulations that we all know is IFRS. Yes, we call it as IF, and definitely you must have heard about it. There are few accounting standards that are applicable, that are implemented in financial accounting paper as well. So IFRS, that is International Financial Reporting Standards. So with the help of these IFRS, let me give an example. For example, if you're recording a sales, so it's not that an easy task that you are given with the values of 500,000 and by making a little adjustment, you recorded the sales. No. If you are doing the financial reporting, so how this 500,000 arrived? How did you calculate that 500,000? Man, there is an accounting standard that will guide you, and that accounting standard, the relevant accounting standard is IFRS 15. Yes, this IFRS 15 will guide you that when, repeat my question, I'm repeating my question, and how and with what amount, that when the transaction will be recorded. Number two, with what amount the transaction will be recorded, and definitely what would be the timing would be recorded. So it means, so these are the different questions that answer will be given by the accounting standard. So IFRS 15 will let you know. Let me give an example. IFRS 15 has given the 5-step model that if you want to recognize the revenue, it's not that an easy task. You need to complete the 5 steps. If these 5 steps are accomplished, then the revenue should be recognized. Otherwise, the revenue will not be recognized. For example, if you are a dealer and you are providing the air conditions, for example, the split air conditions, you are selling the split air condition, and along with this split air condition, you are also providing the 2-year free service, 2-year services as well, 2-year services as well. Now, for example, for air condition, you are charging $100,000, and for the 2-year service, you are charging, let's say, $2,000. And now it means the total amount that you will be charging to your customer is $102,000. So that is the total amount that you are charging right now. Now, my question is whether you will recognize the entire amount of $102,000 at the point of time, whether you will record that $100,000 in the sales. You will not be recognizing $100,000 as a revenue right now, right away. Why? Because IFRS 15 states that that 100,000 is the revenue that will be recognized right now, right away. But if you talk about the 200,000, it's a revenue that will be recognized over the period of 2 years. Yes. This revenue will be recognized over the period of 2 years. Why? Because so far the performance obligation is not yet been satisfied, or the obligation has not yet been provided to the consumer. Or let me make it more simpler, that you have not provided the benefit to the consumer right now, right away, for that particular 2000. So this benefit will be provided over the period of 2 years. So which means that 2 years service revenue will be recognized over the period of 2 years. So now this is what we are going to learn in this financial reporting paper, that is the law. It's not a financial accounting paper. I'm sorry to say, but many of the instructor, many of the people, many of the students says that financial accounting and financial reporting both are the same papers. No, it's not the case. Financial reporting is all about laws, rules, regulations, IFRS, that gives you the guidelines that when and how and with what amount the revenue should be recognized, or other items should be recognized. Let me give you another example. Interest expense. In your financial accounting paper, most of the times, 99% cases, the amount of the interest expense was given in the paper. But here in this case, there are certain rules that how much interest expense should be recorded in P&L, with what amount, and when it should be recognized in P&L, when it should be capitalized in the balance sheet. So there is an accounting standard which is known as IS 23. Income tax expense. Most of the time you have seen that income tax expense is directly given in your paper, but there is an accounting standard IS 12 that will guide you that what amount of income taxes and what timing and when it will be recorded. So it means financial accounting and financial reporting paper are completely different. But from the previous papers, I would say it's 20 to 25%. And that is the basic area. That is accounting entries. And there are a few standards that are repeating in financial reporting paper, but above all, 90% of the standards are completely new, and you have not seen those standards in your financial accounting paper. So obviously this is going to be a different side story, and financial reporting paper is completely different from the financial accounting paper. Are you clear with this discussion right now? So please let me know, are you clear with this discussion so far? That first thing, the first impression that I want to create is that is to clear your mindset that financial accounting and financial reporting both are the two different papers. So the answer of your question is that if you are going to have a benefit, if you are good in financial accounting, or if you're going to have face some difficulties if you are bad in financial accounting, so I would say completely no. You're not going to struggle, you're not going to have a more benefit side. But yes, obviously the basics should have always been strong so that you can cope up easily. But obviously I would say it's not a big deal if you're weak in financial accounting paper. It doesn't matter, because whatever the standards we'll be doing in the lectures, that is completely from the scratch, and it would be quite easier for you to score good marks, and it would be, inshallah, is going to be quite easier for you to understand each and every area, every concept of the financial reporting paper. So don't worry about it, that if you're good in financial accounting, that's perfect. But if you're not, again, it's perfect. It's not a big deal, because there are 75 to 80% is the area that is obviously a newer area. So 25%, for 25% you are not supposed to bother, you're not supposed to be concerned about it. Hopefully, inshallah, once you will take the lectures, you only start it, so you will get the best out of it. Now, second thing is, so what about the financial reporting difficulty level? So I would say the financial reporting, the difficulty level is moderate. Moderate difficulty level. I would say it's a moderate difficulty level. But if I would say that how lengthy it is, so I would say yes, it's more than moderate, above moderate. It's not difficult, but it's lengthy. Let me sum up. It's not difficult, but it's lengthy. Yes, it's not difficult, but it's lengthy. Why? There are multiple accounting standards. Let me show you the paper pattern and the content. There is a content. These are the chapters, 23 chapters. There are 23, and I told you that around 20 to 25% of the chapters that are related to the previous paper, but majority of the questions, majority of the standards are completely new, and definitely you haven't gone through those particular accounting standards. So it will take a lot of time. There are, and in the coming session, in this session, later on, inshallah, after a few minutes, I will show you a planner that I've prepared for you guys, and you can follow that planner, and by following that planner you can complete your lectures within the respected time period so far. So these are the chapters, these are the topics, the standards that will be tested in your exams. So the content is too much, but difficulty level is moderate. These standards are lengthy, but these are not difficult. So that means that if the difficulty level is moderate, and the standards are too much and the content is lengthy, so the learning outcome is the strategy that we need to design, that is, we need to be more productive, that we need to we need to watch the lectures as early as possible. The only strategy that would work over here is the efficiency. The more you will efficient, the more you will work faster. Hopefully, inshallah, you will complete your lectures, you will pass these exams with good marks. So the strategy is that you need to be efficient. You do not need to waste your time. Because if you're planning for the September 2026 and today we are in the June mid, so obviously I would say that you have not more than 2 months. I would count it as 2 months, that you have only 2 months left for your exams. So it means that you need to start right now, right away. And if you have already started, and that's perfectly fine, but you haven't and still you are planning, so I would say please don't plan, just execute now. So strategy that you need to be efficient. Now how you could be efficient, we'll discuss it, don't worry. So that is the difficulty level. And if you talk about the FR pass rates, that is the global pass rates, so it's more than or it's equivalent to 50%. It's more than or equals to 50%. That is, 50% is the pass rate. That if 100 students are appearing for the financial reporting paper, so out of 100, 50% of the students would pass their exams. So it means it's a very good pass rate in the skills paper set, right? Because if you talk about the performance management, if you talk about the audit and assurance, so obviously as compared to those two papers, the financial reporting pass rate is far better. It's far better than the other papers of the skills. So pass rate is 50%. And if I talk about my students, that in the past exams, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Almighty, that 70 to 80%, that 70 to 80% is the pass rates of my students, that around 70 to 80% of the students pass through the exams for financial reporting paper. Although the global pass rate is 50%, but alhamdulillah, our pass rate is more than the global pass rates. Now, third thing that I would like to discuss is the paper pattern. That as far as the financial reporting paper pattern is concerned, so there are three sections that will be tested in your exams. That is the section A, then we have section B, and then we have section C. So these the financial reporting paper will be divided into three sections. And remember, the paper weightage or the maximum marks of the financial reporting is 100 marks, and this paper should be completed within a duration of 3 hours. So it means the paper should have been completed within 3 hours, and the marking is 100 marks obviously. Now, in section A, there will be an OTQ. Now, what is OTQ? OTQ stands for Objective Test Questions. And remember, in section A, 15 OTQs will be tested, and each OTQ will carry 2 marks. So, aggregate weightage should have been 30 marks. Same goes for the section B, and for section B there is a slight change. So there will be OT cases, and examiner would be requiring you for 3 OT cases. That is OT case number 1, then we have OT case 2, and then we have OT case 3. So there are 3 different OT cases will be tested. Now what would be the I would say that mechanism of it, that examiner will give you a scenario. In OT case 1, the examiner will give you a scenario, and with respect to that scenario, examiner would ask you 5 different questions. 5 different questions. and each different parts, or each different part, or you can say that the different requirements would have different data. For example, the examiner has given you the information: the company bought a machine, the property, plant and equipment for $20,000, the life is 20 years, company uses the straight track method, and after 3 years the asset was revalued, and after 2 years the asset was disposed of. Now that is the entire scenario of the case study. Now the examiner would ask you 5 questions relevant to that particular scenario. That, for example, calculate the amount of depreciation for the year 2. For example, calculate the amount of gain on disposal. Calculate the amount of revaluation surplus. So this is how the examiner would assess you regarding the questions or regarding the OT cases. So it's an OT case 1. And each OT case will carry 2 marks. So obviously 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 10. So 10 OT cases will be tested. So it means the total aggregate weightage is 10 marks for the case 1. And same goes for the case 2. That is 20 multiplied by 5. Sorry. 5 multiplied by 2, that is 10. So it means again the OT case, 5 OT case will be tested of 2 marks each. So obviously the 10 marks for the OT case 2, and same for the 10 marks for the OT case 3. So in this particular situation, I would say that this OT case area is more convenient and is more doable, or we could say that it is the area through which we can score good marks. Reason, because you need to read the statement only once, you need to read the case study only once, and the relevant question will be asked from these that particular scenario. Otherwise, if you talk about the OTQs, every question will have a different and a different standard and a different topic. But here the scenario is same. You will read it once or twice, and then you can answer all the questions. So obviously this is a doable task that you need to upgrade your that you need to solve the OT cases now. Now, section C is basically a CRQ section. Now, CRQ stands for constructive response question. Now, constructive response question. What is CRQ? CRQ, constructive response question. In that particular question, the 2 questions will be tested. 2 questions will be tested, and each question will have 20 marks. So it means there will be a 40-mark question for CRQ. That is section will obviously contain 40 marks. 20 marks for question 1 and 2, question 3. That is 20 marks for question number 2. Now, here in this situation, there will be a window that will be opened in your exam. And obviously, during the lectures, I have shown that how to access and how to practice on the modified Excel. So there will be a left pane in which there will be a question, the entire question, and there is an upper pane in which the requirement is given, and there is a lower area. There is the lower area which is the Excel file or the Word file, as the case may be. And in this file we are going to draft a solution. Yes, remember, it's not an MCQ. Here we need to draft a solution. We need to draft entire profit and loss account or the balance sheet or whatever the requirement is given. So it means there will be cells and we need to prepare the financial statement or whatever the requirement is. So we call it as constructive response question. Are we clear on this one? Yes, everyone. Okay. After completing this, that what is the paper pattern? Now we are moving ahead. Let me show you the paper pattern here. That is 30 marks for the section A, 30 for the B, and 40 marks for the section C. That is a global pass rate. That is around, if you just see the pass rate of the financial reporting, is around, I would say that 48, 47, 49, 52, 49, 40, 51. So it means it's around 50%. If you just take an average, so it's 50%. That is the financial reporting paper. And for if you talk about our institute, so the financial reporting paper are having a more than 65 to 70% pass rate. So is there any confusion so far related to the financial reporting paper? Yes, obviously, if you want to write the answers at your own, obviously the English or your composition or your comprehension should be very strong. And I would say that in the lecture, a ratio question. And let me show you the important areas, by the way. So, important areas for the financial reporting paper, that there are three topics, there are three areas that will definitely be tested in your section C. And it's a minimum. It's a minimum. There could be a maximum. For example, if the MCQs or OT cases or OTQs are also tested in section A and related to that particular three areas, so obviously there could be a more weightage. So there are three topics, and you can see that these three topics, if you could see that, these are bold and these are specifically highlighted. So these are the three topics, that is the financial statement, the consolidation, and the ratios. So these are the three important areas that are relevant for section C. So these are the most important areas. Now, as far as the drafting skills are required, so this skill is only required in the question of ratios. And if you will watch the lectures, I've given you few tricks and techniques that how you can avoid writing it at your own. So it means obviously in paper you need to draft. So whenever you're practicing it, so obviously you need to draft, and how it would be done. For example, if there is a barrier of English, so if there is a barrier of understanding, so the simplest way is that you need to write it down at your own. And make sure that once you're writing it down at your own, so you need, it is your responsibility to get these papers checked by the relevant faculty member. And in this particular curriculum, we can see that three important areas are, that is the financial statement, company accounts, and the ratios, that is interpretation of financial statement. So these are the important areas that might be tested in your AB, and obviously it will be tested in section C. Yes. Is there any confusion so far? And remember, Haris, there is nothing to worry about it. Examiner won't be discussing or examiner won't be deducting marks. Examiner won't be deducting marks because examiner has clearly stated in their exam report, or you can say that the feedback report, that we are not testing the candidates for the school paper. We are testing the students or the candidates for their ACCA program. Yes, is it clear to everyone? Okay. Now let me show you one thing. Let me show you one thing, that how you're going to cover this course. For example, if you start the course from today, if you start the course from today, let me show you the magic, and not the magic, but that is going to be a helpful strategy for you. For example, if you start your studies today, now, this is a planner which I've made, and obviously, let me give you a disclaimer that this planner is completely according to my recorded lectures. If you are opting lectures from any other facilitator, so you must request that facilitator, the tutor, the instructor to give you the planner. Now, this is the planner. I think the screen is clear to you, everyone. Please make sure that my Excel file is clear to you. Can you see the Excel file? Yes, everyone. Can you see the Excel file? Yes. Okay. Now these are the topics. If you just see that I what I've done, that I have listed down the topics, and these topics are in the top in the order according to the importance. Okay. Number of hours, that is the lectures are that I have recorded, and obviously I told you earlier that there could be differentiation with the other instructors as well. For example, if I'm recording a particular topic for 6 hours, the other instructor might have recorded for 4 hours or might have recorded that topic in 8 hours. So these are the hours for the lectures. That framework is recorded for 3 hours. And for property planner equipment, there's a 9 hours lecture. For investment property, there's a 9 hours lecture, agriculture, and so on and so forth. And if you just see that the total number of hours are 47. Total number of hours are 147. So it means the entire financial, and remember, these 147 hours included with the practice. Yes, it's not the concepts only, it is along with the practice. So you will be practicing it again. So it's I would say that it's not a theoretical area. It's not only the concepts video, but it is again a concepts plus a practice material. So all the lectures that are over here is obviously included with the practice material as well. So 147 hours lectures plus practice. And now, for example, if you have 60 days, if you could just see that one, that the total number of days is 60. That's 60 days. And 60 days, we mean, for example, if I start from tomorrow, so 60 days means that I'll be ending up with the lectures in the mid of August. That is my plan. That is my strategy. That if you will be taking the lectures till the last days, obviously you will be getting none of the time for practice. So you need to complete your lectures as early as possible. So on a safe side, if you have let's say 60 days, and 60 days means that you will be ending up your lectures by the mid of August. And then obviously you have 15 to 20 days left for the practice purposes. That's completely fine now. And if we just divide it by number of days, 60, that 147 divided by 60, so approximately it's 2.45 hours. That means approximately 3 hours you need to study. Sorry, let me rephrase my term. That 3 hours that you need to watch the lectures. Yes, it's not a study time, it's a lecture time. 3 to 3.5 hours, you will see the lectures on a daily basis. And then after completing the lecture, 3.5 hours, you need to spend 1.5 hour more to practice whatever you have seen in the lectures. Yes, remember, if you will just watch the lecture, you will not practice it at your own, you will not revise it, obviously it would be difficult for you. So make sure that you watch all the lectures and you also practice it on parallel basis or on a timely basis. So approximately, if you see that you need to spend 3 to 3.5 hours to watch the lectures on a daily basis. Now what I've done, that for example, I have started the planner from 17th June. And now what will happen? What will happen? Let me give you a demo for this one. For example, and you can see that there's a 16th of June, the date is written over here. And this file, once I will give you, that this date will automatically be updated on a regular basis. For example, if you open that file, so automatically it would be 17th of June. And if you will open that file the day after tomorrow, it would automatically by 18th of June, because the formula is there. So now it's 16th of June 2026. Okay. For example, if I make it as 17th of June 2026, now what will happen? Oh my God. It's red highlighted. What means? It means that you have not covered this lecture so far. It's 17th of June and it should have been completed by today. So it means it's not yet completed. Okay. Now, let me give you a demo for one more thing. For example, if you have covered this lecture today and you just write it down, done. So now it will automatically be green. And once you will do the lecture, so automatically it will get green, and that means that you are up to the mark. So this is the planner. You need to follow that planner, and if you will follow that planner, you just see that if you will follow the planner, you will be able to complete the lectures by 30th of July, which I would say it's perfectly I would say it's a perfect situation, because you will get 1 month for your practice and revision, and it's a perfect time period. And in 1 month you will be solving the study of practice questions, you will be solving the past paper questions, you will be solving the mock exams, the specimen, the practice exam. There's a lot of material. And one more important thing, that is a past examiner report. What I have done, that for the last 5 to 7 attempts, what I have done, I have compiled all the difficult MCQs that were revealed by the examiner in their examiner reports. So I've compiled all those particular questions. So obviously, once you will enroll, so I can provide you that particular material so that you can practice for the practice that you can practice for those examiner report questions. These are the most difficult questions as stated by the examiner. Remember, every half year examiner issues the examiner report. It's not specific for the financial reporting, it's for the all papers performance management onwards. So the examiner report, in that examiner report, examiner highlights a few difficult, I would say the most difficult MCQs that were tested by the examiner in a half year attempt. So you can practice it, you can evaluate that how difficult could the examiner be in the exams. So obviously this will give you a plus point if you will practice those difficult questions. So by this you will be able to end up with 30th of July, and we can have a leniency, a benchmark of let's say 10 to 5 days more. Let's say it's the first week of August, it's completely fine. Then you can practice for the remaining time period. And I have given a sufficient time period. For example, if you see that consolidation, one of the lengthy chapter, the lengthy area, the lengthy topic, for that I have given a week almost. That is from 14th of July till 23rd of July. So I've given a sufficient time period. This planner is the realistic planner, and if you will follow it, definitely you can complete your course on a timely basis. And I've inserted some formulas, and by default the day will pass on, this planner will automatically get read, and you will be that it's a human psychology. So this Excel file is going to shoot you, is going to persuade you, is going to give you a torture on your mind that you just need to continue. The things are getting read, you're getting delayed. So this is the reminder basically. Every day you will open the file, you will open this file, and you will get a reminder, a red reminder that you are not done with your lecture. So then you will pace up. And I told you in the start, the only component that you need to pass this FR paper is efficiency. Once you will be efficient, you will complete the lectures on a timely basis, you will practice on a timely basis, inshallah, you're going to ace this exam. Yes, so far, if there is any question for someone, please let me know. If there is any question, please do let me know. If anyone wants to ask any question, please let me know. Great. Badriya, from where you are? Badriya, from where you are? UAE, great. And for which paper you will be appearing for September 2026? FR, great. Nice. Okay, I'm sharing my contact number as well. I'm sharing my contact number as well. So if anyone wants to connect me on a WhatsApp, so you are most welcome. Let me share a contact number so that if anyone wants to connect me on a WhatsApp, so you can definitely. So my contact number is 9233226671. So my name is M. Junaid Khalid, your FR tutor. So if you want any help, assistance, or support, definitely you can just drop me a message. I'm just a message away. Yes, if anyone wants to ask something, so you are most welcome, please. So I've tried to give you the best out of the strategies that how you can do it. Follow the planner, complete the lectures on a timely basis, no matter from which instructor, the tutor you have taken the lectures. The only point you need to focus that you need to complete the lectures on a timely basis. Once you will complete the lectures on a timely basis, then the entire time period, let's say 15 to 25 days, would be spent for, I would say, practice purposes only. Yes. Any confusion? Anything anyone wants to ask? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for joining this session, and I wish you all a very best of luck for your preparation of financial reporting paper or any other paper that you are appearing for the September 2026. I wish you all a very best of luck, and I wish and I pray that may Allah bless you all with a tremendous success for the upcoming attempt. Okay, Haris. So okay, Haris, I would say that if you want to continue with the law papers, I would say that start your lectures of financial reporting paper, and if you're appearing for the September attempt, so obviously your paper registration would be the end of July. So obviously you need to start the lectures right now, and uh, focus more on the law side, or and then you can definitely appear for the law exams, but continue the lectures and try to complete the lectures as early as possible. As I've told you that the planner which I'll be sharing with you, so according to that planner, you need to complete your lectures by the end of July or the first week of August. So for that, you need to focus both the lectures, try to complete your law. And one more thing that Haris, you can definitely defer that particular F4 paper or the law paper right after your September attempt. You can focus for the September attempt right now along with the law. I'm not saying that you just skip with the law lectures. Continue with both the lectures, but focus on the financial reporting. And right after your September attempt, you can appear for the law exams, because we know that F4 is on demand paper. So obviously, it would be quite easier for you, and you will be mentally relaxed that after completing your financial reporting paper, you will just give a quick revision of law paper, and then you can appear for the law paper right after your September attempt. I think this strategy could be more convenient for you. So thank you so much for joining this session, everyone. Uh, Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.